So here we have the Mercedes-Benz E250 Estate on a 13 plate. I'm going to start off by showing you around the outside of the car, and then we'll hop in and run through a few of the controls on the inside. From the outside you can see it's a 5-door car with alloy wheels. We're going to start off inside the boot space first of all. The tailgate on this car will open electronically. You can either do that from the key or from the tailgate itself. As we approach the back of the car, you can see we have reversing sensors and loads of boot space, as you may well expect. You can increase this space even further if you wish to by folding down the rear seats as well. Okay, so we're just going to work our way back around to the front of the car, and then we'll hop in and run through some of the controls on the inside of it from there. But now that we've done a full circle, you can see it's in lovely condition the whole way round. Just briefly before we climb in, I think it's well worth seeing the interior from this exterior point of view. There's plenty to run through on the dashboard, so let's hop in and we'll do that now. Okay, now that we're inside the car, we're going to start with the dials. Over on the far left-hand side, we have the fuel gauge. We then have the clock, speedometer, rev counter, and coolant temperature gauge. Within the speedometer, you can see the total miles of this car. They are 90,522. You can change that information for various different things, including a digital readout for the speedometer. And the buttons that you use to do that are just here. On the right-hand side, we have stereo and phone controls. And then over in the center, the main screen for the stereo itself. And of course, as you can see, it's also where you'll find your satellite navigation. The movement that I'm making on the screen there is being done using this dial just here, and that dial can be used for a lot of other things. For example, within certain menus, so that radio menu there that I've just pressed, you can then, if you wish to, use the dial to navigate your way around all of the options. So for example, audio, you can pair up your telephone, you can go back to satellite navigation from there. When it comes to the audio, we have our AM, FM radio, CD player, USB input, Bluetooth audio, and auxiliary input as well. All of what you've just seen me do is done using the dials, and there's your different radio options just there as well. Working our way down, the buttons, should you wish to use those rather than the dial. The main volume for the stereo, we have our CD player just there as well. You can answer and end phone calls from on here. Below that, we have a heated passenger seat and a heated driver's seat. Both of these have 3 separate heat settings on each. We can also turn off our interior or our parking sensors just there, essentially from the interior. We can put the car in eco mode or turn that off. Below that, we have our dual zone climate control. So you can adjust the passenger and driver temperatures. This is the driver one on the right hand side, passenger one over here. You can increase and decrease the fan speed. You can determine what direction you'd like the air to be distributed in. The air conditioning is on at the minute, so that's off. Back on again. Or hit auto. The car will now take control of the fan speed and the direction of the air to maintain the temperatures that you've asked for. You make any manual adjustment, as I just have, you'll see auto has now gone off, and you can put it back on your own settings here as well. You can also recirculate the air that's in the car. That's a great way of heating it up or cooling it down quickly depending on the temperature or temperatures you've set within the car, of course. Underneath that, we have a 12-volt charging socket and some storage. We then have the 6-speed manual gearbox. All that leaves me to say is thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you'd like to come and see the car for yourself and have a test drive, please feel free to give us a call here at West Horsley Motors. We'd love to hear from you soon.